Good evening, everyone. Good evening, good evening. I hope you are doing well today. I hope everybody is doing well. I'm here today to discuss with you my upcoming group that I'm going to start. Hopefully, once I get the numbers and we will start conducting this group as soon as possible. So, welcome to my introduction to the group and why this group is very important. So, basically, today I'm going to discuss four parts that is like to make you understand why it is important to have this group. So, the first one is the rationale. Why? This is the why. My target population who the group will treat are parents of children with mental health disorders. During the past few years, I have been through some situations in my career that I have met lots of families that got children, young children with disabilities. And this happened during the pandemic because most of the children they didn't manage to leave their home for 2 years, and there was no like kind of communication with other families and with other kids in their age. So most of them has actually gone through this kind of delay, like speech delay and anger and things like on the autism, things like autism, and this happened like during my experience as a center manager and for a childcare center. So basically, I have seen this for real, and this is why I am targeting this parent category. They need help. They really need help. So, why parenting groups are important? I have mentioned here that parenting support groups remind parents that they are not alone. They are not alone. Like if they find out that there are actually other families that are having the same problem, going through the same trouble, trying to find resources, going through the same experience, this is kind of universality. The universality and the feeling that I'm not alone. This is giving the clients hope. So this is why I want to create this group to give them hope that they are not alone, and actually they are there are other families are having the same thing and going through the same thing. So parenting support groups are a form of self-care. Self-care, what do we mean by self-care? They feel stressed, burned out. So they have to give themselves this kind of relief to get out uh, of being again alone in their feelings. They need to communicate with other families. They need to get this out of their chest with other families that have the same problem, that will understand them. Because other families, if they sit with other families that have normal kids, they will not feel this kind of support. So sitting with other families with the same background, with same problems, will make so much difference. So parents who find reliable, positive self-care approaches are better able to care for their children as well. So when they get self-care through the therapy and through the group meetings, they actually know how to help their children, and they go with this kind of hope that I can do it. The group will be a way to access resources and build a support network. For example, like parents who can get referrals to therapists in their area. Like they might find out that this family is going to this kind of therapy and it's working. They will feel so much hope that it will work with them too. Again, parenting support groups help parents build skills. Yes, build skills. They learn from each other. The members of the group will learn from each other, will learn how to deal with problems, will learn how to deal with dilemmas, will learn how to deal with challenges that they are facing every single day. And last but not least, parents feel that the group is a place to find hope and humor sometimes, because they will feel like, yeah, I have seen this before, I have been through this situation, and they laugh and they feel support and connection with other families. So this was the rationale behind choosing this category and choosing this population. And so the second thing now is the objectives. Why we are and what we are having as objectives for this group. The type of group I propose is an open parenting group for parents with children who are suffering from mental health disorders and like ADHD, autism, and OCD, and so forth. The group will focus primarily on parent education, and it will be a psychoeducational group. I will also include talks and presentations by mental health professionals or other experts that I can invite whenever I can. It will include as well helpful resources for parents who just got their children diagnosed. And this is very, very important in the beginning of the journey. It's very important to find the right resources and not to be feeling like I don't have anybody to help me through the journey. The practical considerations for creating such a group are very practical. So group rules are intended. So I will share the group rules with the parents, and they will understand why we are creating this group and what are the basic agreements and rules that we will follow. So group rules are intended to shape appropriate group behaviors and promote positive group norms and reduce crimes and anxieties. One of the most important discussions that group leaders can have with group members early before the first session and agree during one-to-one meeting. And we can continue with the practical considerations. So pre-group planning. I believe in planning because anything without planning will not go on the right direction. So pre-group planning is seen as critical for several reasons. Pre-group planning for the first session is more extensive and may take slightly longer time than planning for other sessions. So planning is actually happening before each single session. But in the first session, the planning will take much more time than the sessions after that. So it includes the planning. What do we do in the planning? So in a separate sheet, I will draw a circular diagram of the place and the group, and write in the of the room and the group, and write in the first names of each member as they sit down at the first session. This will allow me to know who is sitting where and to be able to call on clients using their names. This is very important for connection, for creating the connection between the group leader and the members of the group. Again, the second thing for the planning, I will arrange the chairs in a circle for the number of expected group members and introduce myself as a group leader and welcome members to the group. The last but not least, have members introduce themselves to in our first meeting. This is very important, so everyone will get familiar with the name of the other member, and this will create again kind of connection between them and relationship. The place for the group. The place for the group sessions, preparation of the room for counseling, ensuring that the room is encouraging and appropriate for counseling, so that the group will be both comfortable and willing, and the members will be willing to share and tell their problems with no fear and no like any kind of irritation. Preparing the chairs in a circular manner ensures that the group is concentrating and listening keenly to the other group members. As a group leader, I will be able to talk to the group and easily get feedback because they are listening and understanding what they are being told. And last thing in the practical considerations is the group composition. The parents of the children with mental health disorders, the group size will be 8 to 12 persons in the group, and the group will be an open group, and the length of the group will be 1 hour 40 minutes, which is, I think it's fair enough. Frequency and duration of the meetings once weekly, indoor, and in a circle setup. So now the last part of the group formation is the procedures. What kind of procedures, techniques I'm going to use with the group members to achieve the best out of this group therapy meetings. First thing that I'm going to use, which is very important, is bonding, group bonding. Group bonding, the specific activity that I will prepare is the typical counseling session, which includes an open forum and sharing session where people talk and the counselor listens. I'm going to be a listener more and like trying to connect members to each other. And group therapy offers the opportunity to both receive support from others and to give support to others. So families will be supporting each other and I will be moderating between them. Both of these notions are important in treatment. Receiving support from other group members is part of the bonding or the therapeutic alliance that occurs in group, whereas giving support to other allows for growth and learning. They actually going to learn from each other after reaching this kind of bonding between each other. So the second thing in the procedures is the scanning and eye contact. The scanning of the group members. So each group member will feel as if I'm completely concentrating with them, but at the same time I'm going to be scanning other group members and seeing the cues. What is if somebody's nodding, if somebody's like interested, so I can connect them together. So I will use scanning and eye contact as it is a very important tool for a group leader to acknowledge each group member. So acknowledging is very important that I'm listening. I'm listening to them. I'm scanning other members as well. And it will form a bond between the group leader and the group members during the session. As group leader, I should constantly scan the group, observing non-verbal cues. Even nodding is a non-verbal cue, such as nodding, among other communication, to gain more insights into each individual. Like I will understand from the nodding that this person is interested in what this family is saying, and vice versa. Paying attention to nonverbal cues will help me identify all individuals' area of interest. Very, very good point for scanning. The third thing is group safety. I have to assure all the members that they are in a safe place. As a group leader, I should satisfy the group needs to feel safe without blaming or scapegoating anybody. If a member makes an openly hostile comment, my response should state clearly what has happened and set a firm boundary for the group that makes clear that group members are not to be attacked. This has to be very clear from day one. Development of socializing techniques. I can take advantage of this trait as well and utilize the energy of the association to foster transformation as group members. Engage in associations, they acquire new skills. Once they engage with each other, they will acquire new skills that can aid in breaking through their isolation and relate with others meaningfully. They will relate with each other's experiences meaningfully. Group leader, being part of the group. This is very important for a group leader to feel he is a participant. He is not a leader and he's not leading. He's actually coming from this background that he is a participant. He has to share. The best way to learn how to be a good leader is to understand what it is like being on the other side of as a participant. This is empathy, creating empathy and feeling what the members are feeling. As a group leader, I will allow building cohesion more by being a member myself. Being a member of the group will help me to find a common area of interest with group members faster than a leader mediated group. Leaders who have personal experience with the treatment will be more likely to be more effective as well. Trust and building trust is very essential as well in the therapy. Without trust, there may be resistance, conflict, and hostility. Leaders who have personal experience with treatment can use this experience to build trust with participants. Trust is very important. And I will ensure a consistency, reliability, and dependability. As a leader, I will convey consistency by being punctual for group meetings and starting and ending at the same time. To convey reliability as a leader, I could make sure to follow through on any promises made to the group. Whatever I promise them, I have to follow it. And last but not least, this would I should be available and dependable anytime inside the group and outside the group. They feel that they can depend on me as a leader. Silence is a very important tool as well for a leader. Plays a structural role in therapy, just as it does in every conversation. Silence is a therapeutic tool that I can use to help my clients to go deeper into the material by allowing them to think about what to say next. And this is very fine. It's not a problem, silence. We can use silence as a therapeutic tool as well. Bridging. Bridging is one of the best tools in psychotherapy. It is a technique that aims in strengthening the relationship between two individuals or the formation of an emotional connection as well. This is very important, the emotional connection, when members feel connected emotionally and empathize for each other. This is a great thing to achieve through bridging. Last thing that I see important in my techniques is the reflecting during the meeting and after the finishing of the meeting. Reflecting as a group leader, I will encourage members to reflect. I will be reflecting as well and affirming what we have reached in this group. Like, where are we now? What have we done and where we have reached? So saying this, I hope that you understand why this group is very important. I hope you understand that we need to do this and we need to achieve it as soon as possible to help families with children who have special needs problems, and they are our future, and we need to give them hope in order not to get the feeling of I'm alone. Thank you so much.